So good morning, friends. Welcome to Raj Malhotra IAS. So guys, this is the due to some emergency we have to prepone the session timing. Okay, so हमें session के timing को prepone करना पड़ा है due to some emergency. So we are going to start the session in another 2-3 minutes. Okay, 2 minutes के अंदर हम लोग session start करने वाले हैं. And I will be uploading the PDF in our Telegram page for this session. Okay, so let's see what exactly is there for us. देखते हैं आज अखबार में हमारे लिए क्या आया है. Okay, so not conceded any territory, says the government. So government is pointing out that they have not conceded any territory. The present disengagement process is on. Process जो है disengagement का start हो गया है और हमने कहा है कि हमने कुछ भी territory वहाँ पे lose नहीं की है. Okay, but here why this question has been asked, because there is a trust deficit. Okay, already whatever has happened with China, the government has not put things in public domain. Okay, public domain में बहुत ही कम information आई है, and because of that people are not trusting the government, और तभी जो है ये बार बार जो है ये सवाल उठता है. Okay, so ideally the government need to be transparent on such issues. Okay, so इन चीज़ों को लेके गवर्नमेंट को काफ़ी ट्रांसपेरेंट होना चाहिए. अनिल, गुड मॉर्निंग. ओके, opposition creating a fake narrative on budget. She is coming up with this statement that opposition is coming up with fake narrative. Again, why opposition is creating this and why they are able to do this? Because the government is not acting in a transparent manner. तभी तो जो है opposition इसका फायदा उठाता है. Intermarriages can reduce caste tension, says the court. Okay, so court has also said that okay, intermarriages is one of the solution and the way out to reduce the caste tension, and youngsters are doing it. So that's why court is again and again saying that if youngsters they are choosing their life partner, it is their right to take that decision. Okay, and family should not interfere in that. So this is what your Supreme Court is saying. Okay, so other than that, if you see, there is nothing important on this particular page. कुछ खास यहाँ पे important नहीं है. Okay, so Parul, good morning. So let's move to the editorial section. Okay, सीधा editorial section में आते हैं. So amid fault lines, the revival of farmers' identity, we are going to take up this particular editorial. इसको थोड़ा देख लेंगे. Okay, climate change resilience action in step with India. So Australia's contribution, they have covered it and we are going to take up this. Okay, we are going to cover this in detail. इसको भी हम डिटेल में कवर करेंगे. Other than that, shrinking habitat, desperate cats. Okay, so for tigers, the habitat is shrinking and they have discussed this case study. इस case studies को वहाँ पे इन्होंने discuss किया है. So you have to read it on your own. Okay, आप इसको खुद ब खुद जो है read कर सकते हो. So agricultural encroachment is one of the reason. Villagers are moving to jungle. Okay, villagers जो है वो जंगल की तरफ move करते हैं. Okay, for the agriculture purpose. So इसको लेके जो है अब ये बात कही है कि this is how where the animal man conflict start. यहाँ पे जो है एनिमल मैन कन्फ्लिक्ट जो है वो स्टार्ट होता है एंड इट्स लॉस फॉर ऑल. ओके, टाइगर के लिए भी एक तरीके से नुकसान होता है और ट्राइबल्स जो हैं दे आर ऑल्सो एट लॉस. ओके, सो लेट्स मूव टू नेक्स्ट पार्ट नाउ. अनेबल टू पे ड्यूज. ओके, नॉट इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर आवर एग्जाम. ओके, so excessive alcohol can cause irreversible change to DNA. Just remember this fact. Okay, इस fact को remember कर लेना. Prelims के लिए question as a statement ये पूछ सकते हैं. Okay, how alcohol can damage the human body. So this is one of the way that alcohol can damage your human body. Okay, so other than that, if you see, PhD entry into IIT is tougher for students from marginalized community. Now they have given up some statistics. Okay, so these statistics are important and you have to mention them, you have to write them. Okay, and there are multiple issues because of which the marginalized sections they are not able to participate in higher degree courses, and selection bias and all these things are there. Okay, so such things are there. So you have to counter them, you have to counter these issues, and you have to persuade the marginalized sections to take up this particular higher studies in the institutions like IITs. Okay, IITs जैसे institutions में उनको और higher studies के लिए आना है. Other than that, there is nothing much. कुछ खास नहीं है. Relief operation in Chamoli again going on. Intermarriages can reduce the caste tension. Okay, court is saying this. सो ये कोर्ट ने बोला है कि इंटर मैरिजेस जो है वो कास्ट टेंशन को कम कर सकते हैं. सो एजुकेटेड यंग बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स आर चूजिंग देयर लाइफ पार्टनर्स, ओके, which in turn is departure from the earlier norms of society where caste and community play a major role. So earlier the caste and community used to play a major role. Right now the youngsters, they are moving ahead, they are choosing their life partner. It's a good thing, okay. So ये बात जो है इन्होंने कही है यहाँ पे. So you should have more and more such cases in the sense you have to persuade people, okay. So Justice Cole quoted B.R. Ambedkar's Annihilation of Caste, in which the father of the constitution said, I am convinced that the real remedy is intermarriages. Okay. So fusion of blood can alone create a feeling of being kith and kin. Unless this feeling of kinship, of being kindred becomes a paramount, the separatist feeling, the feeling of being alien created by the caste will not vanish. Okay. So B.R. Ambedkar is also saying this, that till the time this feeling of alienation is there, the situation will remain as it is, and intermarriages can definitely play an important role. Intermarriages यहाँ पे important role play कर सकती हैं. Okay. So this is what they are discussing, and other than that there is nothing much, कुछ खास यहाँ पे है नहीं. So if you see this particular page, okay, so here there is nothing much. Now you have to understand slap sanctions on Myanmar, says the UN right bodies envoy. Okay. Now it's a very tight rope to walk. Again and again I am saying this, tight rope for India. So we cannot take the western line. West countries जो line ले रहे हैं, we cannot take that. Okay. So Myanmar is our neighbor. We have to work with Myanmar and in for protection of your northeast insurgency. Okay. So if you want to curb the northeast insurgency, you definitely need help from Myanmar. Myanmar की आर्मी से आपको हेल्प की ज़रूरत है. Okay, this is what we are saying, that we are tight-lipped. हम कुछ भी नहीं कह रहे हैं. We have not given any statement. Okay, so ये बात हमने की है. Now other than that there is nothing much, कुछ खास नहीं. UN agencies flag child malnutrition crisis in Yemen. Okay, so again this is a problem. So about 4 lakh children under the age of 5 are in danger of dying acute malnutrition. Okay, acute malnutrition है, 4 लाख लोगों की, बच्चों की ज़िंदगी वहाँ पे खतरे में है. Other than that there is nothing much, कुछ खास यहाँ पे important नहीं है. Okay, so inflation is cooling down. Okay, so inflation थोड़ा अच्छा हो रहा है. It means that it will give some room for RBI to take decision. RBI को थोड़ा room मिलेगा यहाँ पे. यशविनी, good morning. So RBI may get some room so that it can lower down the interest rate. Inflation control में आ जाता है तो ये benefit होता है. Okay. So other than that there is nothing much, कुछ खास यहाँ पे है नहीं, कुछ इधर benefit नहीं है. So let's move to the detailed discussion section now. So today in detailed discussion we are covering 2 editorials from The Hindu and 1 from Business Line newspaper. Okay. So we are going to cover 3 editorials, 2 from The Hindu, 1 from Business Line. So this is your first editorial. Let's look into this. Okay. So signs of polarized Western UP and its agrarian communities unifying are visible in the ongoing farmer protest. Okay. That this ongoing farmer protest, if you have heard of Muzaffarnagar riots, okay. But presently farmers of all religion, they are joining hands. Okay. वो सब के सब साथ आके काम कर रहे हैं. So this year in UP, thousands of farmers gathered on January 29 at the government inter college, okay, मुजफ्फरनगर में हुए, and they are putting a unified force. Okay, unified एक तरीके से farmer agitation ये हो रहा है. This is really good for the society. So in that term social fabric is improving. Okay, for a particular cause farmers of all the communities, they are coming together. तो ये आपके social fabric को अच्छा कर रहा है. So this is what they are saying. Muslim farmers are also there. Okay. So BJP and its regional leadership were being a local caste dispute. Okay. So how did BJP came to power? They are saying that it made some disputes, local disputes, communal disharmony की वजह से वो power में आए हैं. Okay. So ongoing agrarian change crisis generated by neoliberal economic policy have shifted the agrarian economy to non-farm occupations. Okay. So this is what has happened. So these new developments cause fissures in the farmers' polity in northwestern region and across the farmers, across the states. This is happening. That corporatization of farming. Okay. So they are saying that corporatization of farming is against their interest. तो वो बात ये कर रहे हैं. So that's why they are unifying. Okay, so if you see 60s 80s the green revolution boosted these particular areas. Okay, इस area के अंदर green revolution ने बहुत अच्छे से boost किया, and a particular section of the society they got benefit out of it. Artists, okay, these were the service caste and they were landless. Okay, but when the rural economy rises, okay, if a particular section of the society, when the rural economy increases, it benefits all. Okay, सबको यहाँ पे benefit होता है. दिस यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड, सबको बेनिफिट होता है, इसका इफेक्ट जो है वो ट्रिकल डाउन होता है. ओके, सो दिस यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड. नाउ इन 1990s BKU led by Mahendra Singh Tagore, Bharatiya Kisan Union, along with Muslim farmer, landed laborers, okay, organized protest for cheap electricity and cheap and higher crop prices. However, earlier 1990s the green revolution have advanced farmers income. Okay, so it increased. So neoliberal economic policies, a decline of state subsidies to agriculture, rising cost of farming inputs, growing stagnation of farm production, ecological parasity, all led to the non-farm activities and a further weakening of Jat farmers and BKU politics. Okay, this is what has happened. They have said over the years non-liberal neoliberal economic policies. Okay, so presently neoliberalism is going on. You are giving more space to corporates. Okay, that's a neoliberal stance. So government is also working on it. Government is saying they might done away with MSP in the future. Okay, and that's why it is hurting the interest of the farmer. So ये बात यहाँ पे यही है. So definitely a social change. It is saying that in villages people are coming together. Okay, for this particular cause. Farmers who depended on artisan service caste for everyday services now look to new technologies nearby towns. Okay, ये ऐसा कर रहे हैं. So breakdown of Jajmani system has resulted in a cash flow. The young generation across the caste groups have come under the spell of consumer culture. Okay, villagers who live on non-farm incomes, remittances, now identify as middle class. Family kinship and obligation based rural economy has been transformed into individual centric economy. Okay, based on skills and cash transactions. So this is what has happened over the years. The change, society is changing. Okay, so youngsters are coming up, intercaste family kin inequalities are on rise, because those who have the land, they are rich people. Okay, and those who don't, they don't have the money. So the formation of rural middle class is underway, which includes Muslim artisans, service caste. Okay, independence from Jajmani relations combined with universal suffrage has not only created political competition between Jats and their clients, but also changed their mutually dependent economic interest into competing ones. So over the years, now there is a competing interest. Okay, these castes earlier they used to have a Jajmani system, they used to live together. Okay, based on that system. So now it is completely changing and they are competing with each other. Now, what was the Jajmani system? What was the Jajmani system? Okay, it means that if I am belonging to a particular caste, so in place of giving money, okay, I'll do that work for him. So if I have a say cow, if I am a farmer and if I have a cow, so for my service charge I will give milk to the person. Okay, मैं मिल्क दे दूंगा उस पर्सन को. दिस वॉज द जजमानी सिस्टम दैट यूज टू वर्क. पहले ऐसे चलता था, ठीक है ना. सो दीज आर्टिसंस दे यूज टू वर्क फॉर अदर कम्युनिटीज. ओके, एंड इन टर्न दे यूज टू गेट दे ग्रेन्स, उनको खाना वाना मिल जाता था. नाउ दैट हैज बीन रिप्लेस बाय कैश इकोनॉमी. अब कैश इकोनॉमी आ गई है, बट डिसइंटीग्रेशन ऑफ वर्टिकल रिलेशन एंड एवरीडे फेस टू फेस इंटरेक्शन बिटवीन डिफरेंट कास्ट कम्युनिटीज and individuals and growing disconnect from the village and its social norms has all weakened the capacity of rural society to absorb and resolve everyday conflict. Now it has reduced the capacity of the rural India. Okay, earlier there used to be a rural panchayat, they used to solve every issue. हर इशू को वो इजीली सोल्व करते थे. नाउ दैट इज नॉट देयर. मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली दीज चेंजेस हैव ऑल्सो रिड्यूस द एबिलिटी ऑफ जाट्स एंड अदर डोमिनेंट कास्ट टू यूज देयर पावर एंड रिजोल्व कन्फ्लिक्ट इन देयर फेवर. नाउ इट्स अ मोर इगैलिटेरियन वर्ल्ड, थोड़ा और ज़्यादा इगैलिटेरियन वर्ल्ड हो गया है. अदर कास्ट आर ऑल्सो कमिंग अप, वो भी ऊपर आ रहे हैं. सो इन दैट सिनेरियो यू विल सी दैट डोमिनेंस ऑफ अ पर्टिकुलर कास्ट ग्रुप हैज ऑल्सो रिड्यूस्ड इन दैट रीजन. Okay, so this is a political statement that how BJP is playing it. So in a global economy, these shifts have brought younger generation in proximity with large urban Hindu middle class. Okay, influencing their taste, language, rituals, symbols, politics, ethos. So these changes are going on in the society, especially among the youngsters in the rural India. Their taste is completely different from their parents. Okay, and other than that, if you see ICT, social media, it has also have an impact. आईसीटी और सोशल मीडिया का भी इम्पैक्ट है रूरल यूथ के ऊपर. ओके, सो दिस इज अगेन ब्रिंगिंग सम चेंजेस इन द society. Now, economic and spatial mobilities have fragmented this community. By giving representation and political office, BJP has tapped into the political and economic aspiration of the youth. Okay, an increasing number have shifted away from Arya Samaj roots and joined different religious and spiritual texts. This is what has happened. This is what is going on. Okay, so increased interaction with wider world has had an influence on the sense of caste and religion. Okay, थोड़ा बहुत तो वो है ही sense. So Priyanka, good morning. Similarly, religious channels such as these news media channels, they are creating the troubles. Okay, वो भी trouble एक तरीके से कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे. तो ये आपको थोड़ा समझना है. This is how things are going on. Okay, इसीलिए वहाँ पे चीज़ें बदल रही हैं. Okay. So crisis and reassemblage. So political aspiration of rising new middle class among Jats and had fragmented and weakened the Kisan identity. Now over the years, Kisan identity had weakened, but now, Priyanka, no, timing has not changed. Just for one day, I am shifting to this time. Okay, so in general elections, if you see, the situation was different. Okay, so it was a communal divide. ये कम्युनल डिवाइड का यूज किया गया था. ओके, बट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड राइजिंग इनपुट कॉस्ट इज यूनाइटिंग द फार्मर. ओके, राइजिंग इनपुट कॉस्ट इज यूनाइटिंग द फार्मर बिकॉज इंटरेस्ट आर नाउ अलाइंड. सबके इंटरेस्ट जो है अलाइन हो रहे हैं. दिस इज व्हाट दे हैव सेड. ओके, यही बात जो है इन्होंने यहाँ पे लिखी है. ठीक है, सो सेंटर्स 3 रिफॉर्म जो अभी आए हैं, इट क्रिएटेड अ फियर अमंग द फार्मर ऑफ लूजिंग लैंड. ओके, सो ये बात यहाँ पे एक तरीके से निकल के आ रही है. सो ऑनगोइंग फार्मिंग मूवमेंट हैज शोन द पोटेंशियल टू हील ओल्ड वुंड्स. ओके, और पोलराइज वेस्टर्न यूपी को एक तरीके से यहाँ पे भरा जाएगा, ठीक किया जाएगा. सो लेट्स मूव टू नेक्स्ट पार्ट नाउ. अ वेल इक्विप्ड ऑस्ट्रेलिया इज वर्किंग विद मेजर इकोनॉमीज टू ट्रांसफर टेक्नोलॉजीज supporting the lower global missions. Okay, so they are saying that Australians are playing a major role. There was a devastating bushfire. Okay, and for all its challenges, 2020 demonstrated the importance of innovation, resources and leadership to protect and support our communities. Definitely each and every country require this. Okay, they need innovation, resources and leadership. So climate change is an increasingly pressing global issue which will require our collective will to ensure a sustainable future for our country. Okay, for our world. By working together, we can reduce emission, which will remain critical to ensure global average temperature stay well below 2 degrees Celsius. Okay, so we are moving ahead and Australians are also contributing to it. Okay, this is what they are saying. So opportunity at summit. So virtual climate adaptation summit hosted by the Netherlands on January 25-26 provided a valuable opportunity to international community to collect for collective action to realize a more climate resilient future. Okay, this is what they are saying, that the world is uniting for the climate change and Australians are also reaffirming their commitment. Australia is one of the driest inhabited continent. Okay, and they have the oldest culture, some of the richest biodiversity in the world. Okay, this is what they are saying. तो ऐसा ये बता रहे हैं. ओके, so 65,000 years traditional knowledge practices have preserved and protected Australia's natural environment. Recent bushfire demonstrated the importance of bringing together traditional indigenous knowledge about land and modern sciences. Now this is the important part which they are saying. Okay, that the traditional knowledge भी आपको साथ लानी है, प्लस ओके, एक तो ट्रेडिशनल नॉलेज आपकी प्लस द न्यू साइंटिफिक मेथड्स, मॉडर्न साइंटिफिक मेथड्स, बोथ आर टू बी यूज्ड फॉर द protection of your environment. So indigenous rangers are on the front line now. They are saying this, their people are on the front line. Okay, to managing all these things. So Australia has committed over 1500 crore to making our natural resources, environment, water infrastructure more resilient to drought and climate disaster. So they are spending more than 200 crore on bushfire recovery. Okay, this is what they are saying. And in July 2001, Australia will establish a new resilience relief recovery agency to drive the reduction of natural disaster risk, enhance natural disaster resilience, and ensure the effective relief and recovery to all hazards. Okay, now you need to understand this thing. We can copy Australians, so you can write this. So if Australia is building this particular agency, new resilience relief recovery agency, India can also have this new resilient relief agency, and we can give the reference that if Australians are having it, Indians can also have it. Okay, because we are also regularly facing this particular issue, कभी ना कुछ होता रहता है, तो ये आपको करना है. So their adaptation and resilience work starts at home. Australia is committed to supporting neighboring global communities. Okay, they are ready to support us also. And if they say, if you see global climate finance, they have committed this much amount, इतना उन्होंने दिया है. Okay, so they are sharing their climate adaptation expertise, experiences and skills with the world. Okay, we can learn from them, हम उनके साथ learn कर सकते हैं उनसे. Working with India, if you see Australia's strong support for coalition for disaster resilient infrastructure, it is spearheaded by the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Is another example of how we are working together. Okay, now they are saying Indians and Australians are working together, and this is one of the organization, coalition for disaster resilient infrastructure. Okay, so you have to read about it, Google about it. Okay, इसके बारे में Google करना आपको important for your prelims. This is important for your prelims. Okay, तो ये आपको खुद अपने लेवल पे Google करना है. So ongoing engagement is going on, and we have India's initiative was about International Solar Alliance. Okay, so it was again a global initiative. तो global initiative था to harness the solar power to provide the energy needs. Okay, so ये चीज़ हमने की है, and definitely we can take help from Australians with water resource management. Okay, वहाँ पे हम उनसे help ले सकते हैं. Then you talk about green technologies. Australia and India both are working together. Now Australia is aiming to leverage 7,000 crore for new investment in low emission technologies by 2030. They are ready to invest, and we need investment. So it's a win-win game. Okay, so they are working on accelerating technologies like hydrogen, carbon capture and soil carbon, energy storage to back up renewables, all these things. Okay, this is what they are aiming at, and we can work together in that. Okay, this is what they are saying. So global deployment is going on for the technologies, okay, to reduce emissions. And definitely see, developed countries should help developing countries like India. Okay, हमारी हेल्प उनको करनी पड़ेगी, but of course we cannot do it alone. That's why we need to work with major partners. Okay, so India को transfer of technology वो करेंगे, and we have the Australia India joint energy dialogue. Okay, हमारा ये dialogue है, it will further strengthen the cooperation between two countries, और situation हमारे यहाँ improve हो जाएगी. Okay, so partnerships are keys. So whether in responding to COVID-19 pandemic, tackling the ongoing challenge posed the climate change, okay, we need to embrace innovation or strengthen the global partnership. तो इनोवेशन और ग्लोबल पार्टनरशिप को आपको स्ट्रेंथन करना है, ये सजेस्ट कर रहे हैं. ओके, सो वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड दोज हु आर नीडी, जो नीडी हैं उनको समझना है. हमें जो है सब स्टेक होल्डर्स को इक्वली ट्रीट करना है. यू हैव टू हेल्प अदर्स विद द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ इक्विटी. आपको इक्विटी प्रिंसिपल्स को अपहोल्ड करते हुए लोगों को क्लाइमेट चेंज से बचाना है. सो इंटर मैरिजेस कैन रिड्यूस द कास्ट टेंशंस. ओके, एजुकेटेड youngsters, they are moving ahead. Now Supreme Court has praised this. Okay, again they have given the statement by B.R. Ambedkar. B.R. Ambedkar has said that only the intermarriages is the solution. Okay, by the fusion of blood you can create a feeling of kith and kin. Unless this feeling is not there, it is going to stay. The caste system in India is going to stay till the time you don't have this intercaste marriages. Okay, so you have to encourage it. So that's why court has said this consent of the family and community is not necessary. Okay, if two adult individuals, they have decided it that they want to marry, then consent of the family and the community is not necessary. Okay, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऐसा बोल रहा है अब. सो ये आपको समझना है, ठीक है ना. सो ये केस आया था, जजमेंट केम in a case filed by a lecturer and MBA graduate who fled from Bengaluru to Delhi to marry a man. ओके, एम टेक असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर. तो इस केस में ऐसा हुआ था, फैमिली इंटरवेंशन ज़्यादा थी. ओके, तो उसको जो है इन्होंने बताया है. सो नाउ एज आई हैव टोल्ड यू, दिस इज अ बिजनेस लाइन एडिटोरियल. ओके, सो इंडिया मस्ट शिफ्ट टू रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी फास्ट. दिस इज व्हाट दे आर सेइंग. So switch must happen not only because of limited availability of fossil fuel, but also due to the adverse impact of the environment. Now this is need of an hour. Every year something has happened. Okay, presently Chamoli disaster is one of the reason. You can see climate change is a major factor and we have to work on it. Okay, so हमें जो है according to International Energy Agency, the share of renewable energy in global energy mix is expected to increase. Okay, definitely presently if you see the global energy mix, 11% is the renewable energy. Okay, but the expected change is that by 2040 it will increase to 20%. Okay, 20% आपका renewable energy का share होने वाला है. So while transformation was already happening, अभी होने ये हो ही रहा है. COVID-19 pandemic has hastened its pace globally. People have realized that they have to move to the renewables. Okay, they have to reduce their dependence on the fossil fuels. So renewables के ऊपर जो है अब सब लोग आगे बढ़े हैं. Independent oil companies across the world are accelerating toward these transition. Okay, oil companies are also working on renewables now. So with sustainability as key driver, the world is witnessing a major shift in overall share of global energy spending towards clean energy technologies. ऑयल मेजर्स अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड आर नाउ रीशेपिंग देयर पोर्टफोलियोज, अपनी अपने पोर्टफोलियो को रीशेप कर रहे हैं वो. सेक्टोरल ऑयल एंड गैस कंपनीज आर इंक्रीजिंगली ट्रांसफॉर्मिंग इनटू एनर्जी कंपनीज. ओके, सेक्टोरल ऑयल और गैस कंपनीज जो है वो एक तरीके से एनर्जी कंपनीज में कन्वर्ट हो रही हैं विद अ स्ट्रॉन्ग रिन्यूएबल बिजनेस. वो रिन्यूएबल बिजनेस को लेके आ रहे हैं. दिस इज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. ओके, सो एक्टो पेट्रोल वांट्स टू गो फॉर जीरो to 300 megawatt in renewable power generation by 2022. So now this is a petroleum company which is going towards a renewable power generation by 2022 and they are targeting the 300 megawatt. Okay, so this is again a company, Royal Dutch Shell. Okay, this is involved in biomethane, biofuel, hydrogen fuel. So this is what they are shifting. So situation is India is more or less similar, being a signatory to Paris Climate Agreement. Okay, so we also have to move to renewables. हमें भी renewables की तरफ जाना है and renewables and green energy ये हमें एक तरीके से गेम चेंजर हो सकते हैं पोस्ट कोविड एरा के अंदर. ओके, सो अकॉर्डिंग टू एस्टिमेट बाय वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम, बाय शिफ्टिंग टुवर्ड्स रिन्यूएबल इंडिया कैन सेव अराउंड $90 million ऑफ इंपोर्ट. ओके, 90 बिलियन डॉलर्स का इंपोर्ट जो है हम लोग जो है अपना बचा सकते हैं 2020 और 2030 के बीच में. ओके, अगर हम रिन्यूएबल्स के ऊपर शिफ्ट करते हैं, क्योंकि आपको देखो सब कुछ इंपोर्ट करना पड़ता है. ओके, सो बाय दिस वी विल बी रिप्लेसिंग आवर कोल एंड फॉसिल. ओके, सो इंडिया हैज एन एक्सपोनेंशियल ग्रोथ इन रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी. पास्ट फ्यू ईयर्स में बहुत अच्छा चल रहा है. So installed capacity need to be increased. Presently we are fifth largest in the world. Okay, now this fact is important. In renewable energy we are fifth largest in the world. Important for your prelims. Okay, important for your prelims, fifth largest in the world. So Prime Minister is also targeting this, that we are having a target of 450 gigawatts by 2030. Okay, we are moving ahead and it is more likely that we are going to reach 175 gigawatt by 2022. Okay, so technology की वजह से ऐसा हो रहा है. So cost of production, if you see, cost of production is going down. So cost of production of renewable energy, it is becoming affordable होती जा रही है. Competitive bidding in your solar energy, because of that also the price has come down. So activity of renewable front has risen significantly. Okay, so इतना हो रहा है. In order to meet the target set by the PM, the recent budget announcement to allow for FPI investment and provide additional capital to Solar Energy Corporation of India and IREDA, Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency, are positive moves. Okay, now these are the new developments. You have to mention about them in your answer if there is a question in your GS पेपर 3. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट द लेटेस्ट हैज हैपेंड. ये लेटेस्ट है आपका. ओके, दिस इज व्हाट गवर्नमेंट हैज डन एंड यू हैव टू प्रोवाइड द लेटेस्ट थिंग्स दैट हाउ गवर्नमेंट इज वर्किंग टुवर्ड द रिमूवल ऑफ pollution and other things. Okay, so since independence India's energy industry has developed. Okay, काफ़ी जो है सेक्टोरल बेसिस पे हम लोगों ने डेवलप किया है कि कोल अलग डेवलप हो रहा है, ऑयल अलग डेवलप हो रही है, गैस अलग डेवलप हो रही है, रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी अलग डेवलप हो रही है. नाउ द आइडिया इज दैट वी शुड हैव अ होलिस्टिक इंटीग्रेशन. ओके, सो शेख सादिया, गुड मॉर्निंग. वी नीड अ होलिस्टिक इंटीग्रेशन एंड दीज पावर सोर्सेज अंडर अ सिंगल अम्ब्रेला वुड गो अ लॉन्ग वे. ओके, एंड यू नीड टू मेक दैम मोर एक्सेसिबल, अफोर्डेबल, इक्विटेबल, क्लीन एनर्जी. और इन चीज़ों का आपको ध्यान रखना है. एंड यू हैव टू लुक आफ्टर द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द वल्नरेबल सेक्शंस. उनके भी वल्नरेबल सेक्शंस के जो इंटरेस्ट हैं उसको भी आपको साथ लेके चलना है. सो बिकॉज ऑफ देयर अबंडेंस एंड कन्वीनियंस ऑफ हैंडलिंग, फॉसिल फ्यूल्स लाइक कोल, oil and gas have been the most preferred fuel because of their abundance and convenience of handling. Okay, so if renewables are make abundant and it is easier to handle them also, their revival is also possible. Okay, while this preference is still to continue for few decades, ऐसा होने वाला है, consumption of these fuels must be controlled, not only because of their limited availability but also due to their comparatively adverse impact on the environment. Okay, now because they are having the adverse impact on the environment, definitely we have to reduce their usage. Hence the endeavor to conserve them by limiting their consumption as well as by substituting them with the renewables to the extent possible would be beneficial for the environment. Okay, so ये हमारे लिए possible होगा. So fast tracking the transformation. Okay, so okay, according to its energy strategy 2040, the renewable portfolio of ONGC is to grow significantly. Now, these individual firms are having their own individual portfolios. Okay, so to operationalize this, ONGC has already taken steps in the direction, including strategic collaboration, diversification. Okay, these things are already happening. We are going to have first geothermal plant in Ladakh, important for your prelims. Okay, this fact is important for your prelims. So Salim, assalamu alaikum. Okay, at the time when climate change has reached a critical juncture, the world is striving to bring out a change in the way energy is used. Okay, so इसकी तरफ जो है चीज़ें आगे बढ़ रही हैं. The way energy is used, we are moving in that direction. We are moving towards renewables. Okay, so transformation in terms of conserving oil and gas, producing more renewable energy through standalone endeavor as well as through collaboration across the energy verticals will make India more saksham and self-resilient. Okay, so this is an angle that you have to collaborate across the energy verticals कि सबको साथ लेके चलना है. CNG भी यूज़ करना है, पेट्रोल भी यूज़ करना है, डीजल भी यूज़ करना है. ओके, रिन्यूएबल्स भी यूज़ करना है. सो ये सारी चीज़ें जो हैं आपको साथ लेके करनी पड़ेंगी. एनर्जी मिक्स को इस टाइप का करना पड़ेगा. सो दैट्स इट फॉर टुडे. हैव अ ग्रेट डे अहेड. थैंक यू वेरी